to our third and final topic. This is the PT Awards. This is the 5th annual PT Awards, actually. And we've done this 5 times for Bitcade. We dedicate an episode entirely to giving out awards to how it all goes. These are all categories that we think should be the ones that everyone cares about. Don't watch the Game Awards. Just listen to this part of the episode, and you'll be fine. You don't need to do anything.
Easy.
So the PT Awards, we have different categories and stuff like that. We have our own stuff that we like to do. So it is time for the PT Plays Award. This award is given to the video on YouTube that is the exclusive PT Plays game episode that came out last year. And it turns out that College Kings got the winning thing. Don't expect an award in the mail. We will not send it to you, but congratulations. The video was Don't Talk With Your Mouth Full, PT Plays College Kings Part 2, with a whopping grand total of 32 views, which is insane for our Let's Play series. But, I mean, as of last year, I guess that was pretty low, but it is, we didn't put out a lot of videos over on YouTube. So there you go. Here to accept this award is the man that was in that episode. Ashton, why don't you say a few words for the winning video?
I'm ashamed and appalled that I played such a game.
Well, technically, you were just sitting there and watching while you were the
Heavily
you were the cuck
participated
in this video.
with 2 other grown men.
Yes, and one of those was your brother. So there you go.
Yep.
There it is. Our next award is the PT Video of the Year, which was Rivals of Aether, however you say it, tomato. First Impression, which was our PT Takes On PAX West 2021 with a grand total of 235 views. Here to accept this award is Ashton Stom. Hey, go. What do you have to say about this one?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay, so apparently this game wasn't new for PAX. It was just there, but it was new to us.
Honestly, like, I enjoyed what I played.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it to do so well.
Yeah.
That the following they have for that game is great. They have a very cult following, and it's really awesome how like tight knit and like knowledgeable they are. I'm very much looking forward to their game. From like the comments and like anything that you can read online about like any sort of forum with the community, like they're really good at like working with their community and stuff. So it made me happy that they were really taking care of their player base. They had people basically mod characters and stuff, and then worked with them to put them into the actual game, like the base game. So that to me is just always awesome to see. So I'm happy with that.
All right. Well, speaking of happy, let's move into our next category, which is the Happy Accident Award, which is a game that we didn't think was, we just took a chance on. And hey, you know what? It was fun. My game is Devour. This game is a cooperative 4v. What is it, 4? Can you do 5? I think you can have.
I think it's 4.
It's 4. It's a 4-player versus 1, which is the 1 is the computer, but the theming of it is done so well into they're constantly updating the game. There's already 3 current maps. 1 is on the way. It has a connective story. It takes place in a universe that the game studio has already created. So there's Devour is also a game that they made another game called The Watchers, and it's set in the same universe. The Watchers is a 2-player co-op game, whereas this one is an online. The Watchers is also co-op online, but Devour is all just 4v1. and you go around and you do the tasks that you're set to do. So, for example, the first level is uh, there's like this crazed cultist leader that has now been taken over by some demon. You don't know what's going on, but something crazy is happening. And you have to find the goats that are around the house and burn them in order to sacrifice them to the demon so that you can exorcise the demon from the woman that it is possessed. Then, instead of the next map just being a change of scenery, it's a continuation of the map. And not only that, one of the characters is possessed, so you cannot play as that character in the second map because that character is in play. And I think they do it so well for this like random indie game on Steam. So Devour, that is my happy accident game of 2021. Ashton, what is your happy accident game of 2021?
I think mine was Pokemon Unite, wasn't it?
Yes. I didn't know if you were going to switch
Yeah.
or not, but yes.
Yeah. I'm not a MOBA guy. But I am kind of a Pokemon guy. So my expectations were pretty tapered for it. You know, my bar was set pretty low because I not a big fan of Smite, not a big fan of League. It just doesn't suit my play style personally. But Pokemon Unite, I really enjoyed. I didn't expect to really enjoy it for more than like me playing it for like maybe 2 play sessions and then probably uninstalling it forever. Me and Ryan here, we played it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. And we started a thing where every time we win a ranked game, we open a pack of Pokemon cards.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cool thing. It was just
And where do we do
really
that
fun experience.
at, Ashton? Where do we do that?
On Twitch.
Twitch.tv/Primal_Target. Link in the description.
Links in the description.
But yeah, I gotta say, Pokemon Unite was a very nice addition. Dusted off my Switch to play that game, and yeah,
I will say the rank scene atrocious.
they need to fix that. Yes.
Yeah. We haven't been back to it in a while. Battle Pass also atrocious.
Yeah.
There are obviously things wrong with the game. The game is not perfect. I'm not saying the game is even amazing. It's just really fun, and I really enjoyed playing it. And I didn't think I'd enjoy playing it really at all.
Yeah.
So
I mean, even when you're losing and stuff, I still want to go back and play it again.
it's fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
And it's quick. It's not like I'm in there for a half an hour to an hour. Like I'm in there and I play for like, what is it, 10 minutes? No. Yeah, 10-minute games. And it's over.
About 10 minutes.
And you walk away. You're done. You don't need to sit there for that long.
You need to start playing that again.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the next set of Pokemon cards to come out. You can pre-order some of them right now, but you can't pre-order the store thing yet. Okay, well there you go. Devour and Pokemon Unite get the Happy Accident Awards for 2021. Now let's go into the Brown Star Award. Some people don't even let you go into the Brown Star, but we're letting you in. We're letting you into the Brown Star Award. These are the games that were considered the shittiest of them all in last year of 2021. Mine is the GTA Trilogy Remaster. Seeing this game in the wild has been just a dumpster fire, and it's I've seen better mods created by the community, and the fact that this game was greenlit by one of the best quality gaming companies, dare I say, and they put this game out, and it makes the original 3 look better. Like you appreciate those original 3 way better. It was Vice City, San Andreas, and oh crap, what's the third one? What was the third one? Shit, I don't remember the third one. See, there you go. I don't care. I think it's GTA 3. But yeah, I don't know. I am shocked that Rockstar put this game out. I gotta give it the Brown Star Award for 2021. Ashton, what is your Brown Star Award?
I went with Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword HD. I never played Skyward Sword HD, but I've seen it been played, all that. I own it. I got it for Christmas. I still haven't booted it up. I need to play it because I didn't play the original, and I need to play it because I'm a Zelda fan. I just need to play it. Go through the whole story, learn all that needs to be learned, and play it. They basically put on a fresh coat of paint, cleaned up the motion controls because it was made for the Wii, so it was trashy controls. Um, Obviously, they bumped up the resolution to HD. Um, but aside from that, I mean, the only thing else that they really truly added was changing how tips appear on the screen and also adding in a perk if you get this specific amiibo that allows you to instantly teleport from the ground to the sky and from the sky to the ground. So, yeah. $60 for a fucking old ass game with a new coat of paint on it. That's not worth $60. Literally, like, here's what pisses me off so much. Nintendo does this shit all the time, and I'm tired of it. And they picked the fucking worst game to do it to. Twilight Princess was better received than this game was. And they chose this. They chose to do this. And they charge $60 goddamn dollars for this. Like, only people who should be buying it are people that have not played the original. That's it.
Yeah,
But
I was very shocked of how they did this, and then they also were like, their biggest selling point was, well, don't worry if you have the Switch Lite. We focused on the fact that you don't even need to use motion controls to play this game. And I'm like, isn't that the whole point of the fucking game? Like, wasn't that why you made the game on the Wii? I don't know. Yeah, weird.
oh yeah. By the way, they didn't call this a remaster. On their a lot of websites are calling it a remake. It's not a fucking remake.
Yeah.
It's a remaster. They added skippable cutscenes. That was a feature they added.
Ah, yes. Selling points right there, Put it on the box.
So, you can fast forward dialogue. It's been on every goddamn Nintendo game since the goddamn Game Boy.
But now you can do
Save
it on the
slots.
Switch, though.
Save slots. Yeah, fuck you, Nintendo. Sorry. That's bullshit.
Brown Star
Bullshit.
Award.
Brown Star. The droopy, wet brown.
Oh, no. All right. Well, let's go into now that we've downgraded some, we've talked some crap about two games. Let's talk about two games that we want to iconicize forever. This is now time for the PT Hall of Fame, which are the games that get inducted into our Hall of Fame. We've had we have had people vote these in. Dating back into the class of 2017, 2018, and 2019, and then last year, 2020. Last year, we inducted Halo 3 from Ashton, Kingdom Hearts 2 from Tyler, and GTA 5 from myself. So now it is time to induct two more into the PT Hall of Fame for the class of 2021. Games that will be iconicized forever in the history of Primal Target. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. My game is Bioshock Infinite. I know this game has a lot of people like the ending, or some people absolutely are confused by the ending. I think the game itself was made obvious, like going from Bioshock, then to Bioshock 2, then to Bioshock Infinite, and then the DLC that came eventually later to Bioshock Infinite. This game is, to me, what I think is the true Bioshock game. I know a lot of people think that, Bioshock is horror, and it has to be horror. I think it reinvented it and made it that brand into the game is about, it should have been about narrative as well as the gameplay. And I think Bioshock Infinite does that. The characters and the voice acting are amazing. Booker and Elizabeth are two amazing characters in video games. The fact that we've never gotten a sequel for Bioshock, like a fourth installment to Bioshock, is a tragic thing in gaming that I think that it's been in this development hell that no one knows if we'll ever get another Bioshock game. But for what this one did and how it did it, I don't want to spoil it because I know the Bioshock Collector's Edition has come out where now you can play all three of them, and the DLCs are all involved in all of that. Because Burial at Sea is very important to play, and the thing about this is Bioshock itself put its stamp into horror and survival gameplay. Elizabeth made Bioshock even better because now you have this character that isn't they created a character that wasn't a just follow you around and I'm going to get kidnapped, I'm gone, blah blah blah. She did stuff for you. She actually contributed to the party, and where if you were running out of ammo or you were dying, she would go find you ammo or go find you stuff and toss it to you and go, here you go, Booker catch. That's literally like that catchphrase is from Booker catch. That's from this. And it was such a great addition to it. I'm not saying like going and looting is fine. Making that primarily what everyone is crying over, the fact that you can't find ammo, is aggravating. And they make it Elizabeth just a lovable character, and the setting of Colombia is really cool. The overall story I think was really well done. But yeah, the voice acting is definitely a huge selling point. Troy Baker taking the role of Booker, that was the first game I played that I knew he was in. And then after that, now I know everyone knows who Troy Baker is. He's now just in every game. So Bioshock Infinite, that is my inductee. I wish I could say more of it without spoiling it, but I don't think I can. With that said, it is a fantastic game. Do you need to play Bioshock to play the third installment, technically, for this? I think it helps if you dabbled a little bit in Bioshock to play this game, but other than that, Bioshock Infinite stands itself. It can stand by itself, and it is a solid first-person story-based game. So there you go. Also came out March 26th, 2013. So it's been a while since we've gotten a Bioshock game, but there you go. Ashton, what is your class of 2021 inductee into the PT Hall of Fame?
I'm gonna go with the game I played, probably one of the most as I was a kid, and that is Zelda and the Wind Waker. And I'm gonna go with the HD version just because it's better and it's technically, pretty old. Because that one came out on the Wii U.
Do you want to know the dates for those? Actually, no, though.
I'm gonna guess 2016 for 2015 or 2016 for
even farther back.
HD.
So Wind Waker, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker came out on December 13th, 2002, and then Wind Waker HD came out September 20th, 2013. It's been a while. And why is that on the Switch? But anyway, go on.
I don't know. Yeah, so basically, that game was probably one of my first truly open world games that I played. I don't really count Ocarina of Time for that because it wasn't really an open world kind of situation, even though it technically was. It was just super empty. It was super empty. There was no filler for that game because the time it came out. So I'm going with Wind Waker HD because there's a lot of side stuff you can go do. You can get lost doing whatever. It's a completely different story because you're on, you're out at sea. All the lands of Hyrule have been completely flooded, and now it's just all underneath the sea. So there's all kinds of stuff going on, and Zelda is a fucking has memory issues, and now she's a fucking pirate, and your sister's missing and shit. It's pretty wild for a Zelda game, with the main cast. It really kind of shook things up.
Beautiful game, though.
Very beautiful. It's all toon art style. The music is just iconic in that game, dude. Dragon Roost Island, are you kidding me? Like, yes. So there's so much to do. The game is so solid. It's just great. I mean, there's a reason why it's definitely on the speedrunner list because it's just a solid fucking game. It's so fun and so fun to even just look at. Just an all-around really, really good game. I guarantee you I've sunk hundreds of hours into that on the GameCube when that first came out, and I had to revisit it when it came out on the Wii U. It was just, it was great. It was great. I would probably buy it a third time. It's that good.
It's the only Legend of Zelda game I have ever looked at, and I was like, that might bring me into the franchise. And then it's never like if it comes to, I've never had a console that it's been on. So like if it comes to Switch, I would definitely buy that game because I just like the art style. I like Toon Link a lot more than like all the other ones, than the hyper realistic ones.
Fair enough. You didn't like you want to try Link's Awakening?
Oh, that was the little one, right?
Yeah.
I like the art style to it, just not. It's almost there, almost there. I like the storybook look to it, but not yet. Like, because I feel like when I played Tunic, I was like, oh, I already had this game, so I already got to play this game. So yeah, yeah. I don't know. I definitely agree though. That's a good pick. So there you go. PT Hall of Fame class of 2021 is Bioshock Infinite and The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. Getting the inductees right there. We have moved on to the final thing that we are going to talk about in this topic. It is Game of the Year of 2021. Now, here's the thing. We had a list of games that we have now narrowed down to 4 games, and we are going to discuss which one will be Game of the Year with the official Primal Target stamp on it. So, with that said, our 4 games that we have narrowed it down to are Forza Horizon 5, Pokemon Unite, Halo Infinite, and Resident Evil Village. So, without further ado, now we have to discuss with these Forza Horizon 5 being Game of the Year. So let's do this. Why don't we say why each game should be Game of the Year, and then we'll go back and try to figure out if it's good enough to beat the other ones. So why do we think Forza Horizon 5 should be Game of the Year?
Well, I mean, fucking look at it.
That's very true. It does look very, very nice. Very pretty.
Fucking look at it. I don't know. Sound design's goddamn amazing. It's super accessible, like we were talking about in previous bit. There's so many settings on there, so that way everybody can play how they want to play. The multiplayer's, working pretty seamlessly. It's just a good time. It's just a good time. It honestly just is. I don't know. It's a fucking open world racing game that looks amazing and sounds amazing. That's really all you need to know.
Yeah, as a Forza Horizon fan, I played Forza Horizon since 2 DLC. What's funny is I got into Forza Horizon because of the Fast and the Furious DLC, and when it came to Game Pass for free, because it wasn't on Game Pass back then was not what it was. So like I got it for free. I don't know how I got it for free. And I played it and I beat it and I 100%ed it actually because I loved it so much of this open world car racing game. And I don't think I played a car racing game quite like Horizon at the time. So then I've bought every single Horizon except for 4 because 4 was on Game Pass, so I didn't buy it. And then this one I did not buy either because it was on also Game Pass. But that does not exclude the fact I would have bought this game because Playground does such an amazing job making these racing open world games, and the fact that you can like create stuff now in the game is gonna make this game even better. I haven't even done it either. I have not looked into some of the stuff. I know that people can play the um, have been creating maps, and now in the game there's actually a part where you will just play created maps. So yeah, I mean the game added a lot to itself, and also making it beautiful in the high resolution version of the 4K running natively on the Xbox Series X. It is able to play on the Xbox One, but the Xbox Series is really where this game shines
Oh yeah.
in more ways than one, whether it's being the reflections from the beautiful scenery or your car or the
And it had a clean launch. Let's
yeah,
not forget that.
didn't have any
That's
problems with
important
it.
nowadays.
Yeah, it is
There
a
was a slight bug with the party system, but you could actually get into games together pretty seamlessly. There was very little launch bugs.
yeah. But
It was
overall,
good.
if not, should be considered as one of the best racing games of all time. So there you go. Pokemon Unite. We've already talked about this previously a little bit earlier, and you've mentioned it a little bit. But Pokemon Unite, I'll give my 2 cents of it all. I think one, and I was kind of like talking with Ashton about this off camera too, of should this game be nominated for Game of the Year? The thing is this game brought in a new audience to the MOBA genre. Do people that are hardcore MOBA fans consider this game as hardcore as League of Legends and Dota and Smite and all that?
Fuck no.
No. But does this game answer things that can fix the MOBA genre? One, are games too fucking long in those games? Yes, they are. The fact that there's no cap on those things makes the game so fucking hard. Um, Two, it's enjoyable characters that already we know. We already know the Pokemon that are in there. Like they're just fan favorites right now, and they're being added almost every month or two. There's a whole new set, and they add one or two every here and there, and it's great. And they work really, really well in being the character. I was curious to know, how do you play as one character? Do you pick the move that you're gonna do? You have a couple moves, but mainly they've made a formula for the game, and it works really, really well. Mechanically,
Yeah.
Pokemon Unite on paper works flawlessly. It gives you a Pokemon, it gives you two different moves, it gives you possibly evolutions and makes it a little bit more fun to evolve in your character and leveling up it. It answers your top, mid, and your bottom lane. It gives you lanes for its standard normal mode, and it gives you a 10-minute cap to do this. And then the game is never over. Like, I mean, yes, people can throw it in the very beginning just like how any MOBA is, but if it's two teams that are actually fighting and it's a close game, it is a close game until the very last second of that fucking game. You don't know if you won, which is
Yeah.
insane.
Half of the time that we win, we didn't think we were going to.
Yeah,
Even after
I've been
the game, like the whistle's blown, like we're like, oh shit, no fucking way we won.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we fucking won.
Yeah, I can't believe we scored at that last second. Like, there's been so many of those that makes the game fun and more replayable than there is. Does it have its flaws? Absolutely. But I think Pokemon Unite definitely came in and did a great job with it. And we didn't really have that many bugs in the last. I mean, they fix it really fast. Like
They
if
fix them fast.
and
yeah.
whoever's running
They
that
bounce
Twitter,
changes fast too.
yeah, whoever's running that Twitter is on top of it. That whole team, that whole dev team is like constantly listening. If people say like one Pokemon feels way too strong than the other, they are working on that very fast. And so, yeah. But that's my thing about it. I don't know if you want to say anything about Pokemon Unite that you haven't already said or
Yeah.
whatever.
As a clean launch, has lots of cosmetics for both your Pokemon and your trainer. I mean, you know, a couple outfits for each Pokemon so far. I think they've had events. They had a Halloween event.
They did.
Had a Christmas event,
Yeah.
I believe. You know, they just came out the gate ready to go. And again, like, I know it sounds weird to have that as like a pro, but it's very far and few between these days where we see games actually put forth the effort right out of launch and like coming up with events the months after launch.
Not only that, they keep it up.
Yeah, they keep it going. They keep
Yeah.
the momentum. They are really good at fixing those bugs, if there are any. And usually the bugs that they do have only affect a very small number of people. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's very few, very niche cases, and they find and they patch them ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing like that you can say about like any sort of Nintendo game is like they don't like messy, buggy games. It's there's no excuse for it.
Not
They
only this, you can
despise that.
play this game on your phone too. So even if your
Yeah.
friends don't have it on like or Switch in general, they can still play it on your phone and still play with you.
Mhm.
Okay, we gotta move through these a little bit quicker now, but it's okay. Halo Infinite, also on our list here. I'll let you
Mhm.
take the lead on this one since you've
All
played
right.
the
So
campaign and multiplayer.
this game runs at 120 frames per second on Xbox Series X. That's amazing to me. It's it is amazing. The core gameplay, honestly, probably some of the best that Halo's seen. To be honest with you, like core gameplay, like it's just it's so smooth, it's clean, it's amazing. Yeah, there's lots of things wrong with this game. Even still, um, it's lacking a progression system. It has a lot of bugs, like a lot of bugs. Um, no Forge at launch, no co-op campaign at launch. Um, the microtransactions being pretty predatory, cosmetic being pretty limited. Like I'm pretty harsh on the game because I love the game and I don't want to be biased. Um, the game, as on its own, just playing it, it's just fucking wicked fun. It feels good, and the campaign, finally, a good campaign, good campaign. The campaign was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was curious how they're going to do open world. Open world works. Open world works with the Halo formula because I mean, yeah, you're basically traveling each way to start the next mission. Like that's basically what open world does for you, and you get to fuck around and explore. Um, it's a lot of fun. They have a ton of Easter eggs in there. Like the game is just great. The story is really fucked up, um, and I can't wait to see more. I've already beaten it twice. First time solo legendary. Obviously, everybody beats solo. And then the second time, I just tried to do a speed run for the achievement, and I beat in under 3 hours on easy mode. So, yeah, I thoroughly enjoy the game. Looks good, plays good, needs work, but good God, is it the best Halo in a long time?
I have not actually played the this one in the sense of the campaign. But I did play the multiplayer for this, and I do feel like and I've played it on console, and I've also played it on PC. I've played it primarily more on PC though through Steam and whatnot, and I gotta say, yeah, it playing very well on PC has definitely been super plus to see Halo back on the PC because that was where I played it first. I played Halo Combat Evolved on a laptop with no mouse. I played it on a trackpad. Yes, that's how much I love that game. But yeah, no, I started playing Halo on PC, and I'm glad to see that it's back. And I have not yet gotten to because this came out when I was down in Florida, so I actually have not. It came at a weird time in December, so I do want to get to it. I want to play the campaign. I've heard nothing but great things of that. If you like campaign, which I love Halo campaigns, that it is a must play. So yeah, I that's all I have to say about it too. Resident Evil Village, our beginning of the year was kicked off just absolutely insane with the fact that Resident Evil 8 came out with Resident Evil Village. And yeah, this game is. I am a huge Resident Evil fan when it comes to. I've been playing these games since PS2. Funny enough, I actually played the. So, my Resident Evil story is actually not start with PS2, but it did go back to the PS2. So when I had my Wii, the first Resident Evil game I actually played was Resident Evil 4 on the Wii, and then my dad actually had his PS2. He had his PlayStation 2 until that thing sunk. That thing was dying and gasping for air. But we played we actually bought the Resident Evil collection and played the original PS2 releases of Resident Evils. So like Code Veronica was in there, Resident Evil 2 Outbreak, or Resident Evil 3 Outbreak. Yeah, Resident Evil 3 Outbreak. Or Resident Evil Outbreak. I don't know. That was how it was, because Resident Evil 3 was actually Resident Evil 3. So I don't know. We were playing all these like spin-offs and whatnot. And yeah, so I've always loved Resident Evil, dating back to then, of when I was introduced to it. So whenever I was introduced to it, I've loved Resident Evil. Resident Evil 2, I absolutely adore that remake. Leon is my Resident Evil character because I associate him back to Resident Evil 4, which was mine, like I just said, my original. So playing Resident Evil Village was I had actually beat Resident Evil 7 probably a couple months before Resident Evil 8 had came out, and so I knew Ethan's story, and then I played Resident Evil 8, and I was just taken away. I was like, this team at Capcom is doing wonders to revive this franchise that about zombies. It is so good. And the villains in this game, because instead of having one main bad guy, they just created like 5 of them. And
a posse.
yeah, and they're all cool. They're all cool bad guys. Like, how do you make a Resident Evil villain? Well, you just make them like gross, and that's really it. Instead, they added like,
or really hot but evil.
yeah. Well, instead, in this one, they're like, okay, well, they're not only just gross looking, but they'll have a characteristic, and they actually have a backstory, and like each one has a different attitude and how they're gonna handle, like how they're gonna take on Ethan, or they're in charge of something in that specific. I mean, there is a head honcho in charge of all of these goons, but like Lady Dimitrescu, which is the main like tall lady that everyone associated Resident Evil with.
Giant woman with giant boobs.
I wanted, okay, aside from that, but I wanted more of this vampiric woman. Like, what else is there? Like, what, but, I mean, you know, I'm not going to, the game came out last year, so we won't talk too much about, like, spoilers and whatnot, but I just kept wanting more from the characters, like in a good way. Like, I'm like, oh man, what would have happened if this was just the game? It was like, that's not just the game. We're gonna continue on.
The logbooks?
Huh?
Did you read all like the logbooks and stuff that you pick up?
I read some of them. I didn't read all of them.
Yeah, she developed like this bone disease where it required her to actually drink human blood.
And that's how she became like this vampire lady.
Yep.
Yeah, that's in it.
It's just that way she didn't die.
But it's so cool because like then there's that guy that's like a giant fish man. Then there's the puppet. Then there's the guy that can control things with telekinesis. Like there's just so much to the game that makes this one of the best Resident Evils, if not, dare I say, maybe the best Resident Evil. And they incorporated Chris Redfield came back. And so now I'm curious to know, like, what's next? Like, where do we go from here? And they had said that supposedly Ethan was supposed to have a trilogy. We don't know what happens next. So, I don't know. It makes me... I cannot wait for Resident Evil 9. Like, I have no idea what they're going to do. But, yeah. Resident Evil Village is top-tier gaming right there. Single-player gaming. But go ahead. What else, you got anything else? Because you played and beat this game
honestly,
too, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Fuck man. I mean, the game was just way good, way more diverse and more fun than 7. Not as scary as 7, but that's what everybody else wanted except for me. But the game was just, God, it was phenomenal. It was fun. It felt kind of like a hybrid between 7 and like the arcadiness you get from the previous titles. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And the characters were actually like really like fleshed out, and it wasn't just like, ew, I gotta kill this gross bitch or whatever. Like, you're like, oh my god, like this is crazy. And each villain that you were up against, like the whole theme around them was definitely indicated in the entire environment leading up to that fight with them, and it was really crazy because it was all so diverse. Especially even though it's in all the same area, they were still able to make it so fucking diverse and so different that it didn't feel like you're like playing the same thing over and over and over again.
Which we do know someone that did play this game over and over and over again. So
yes,
yeah.
Good God.
I'm still shocked at how many times she played it. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. We're gonna have a face off. Okay.
I already know how it's gonna get narrowed down.
Forza Horizon 5 versus Halo Infinite.
So, just off of because we're just going off of how they performed to make this the most fair.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go off of how the games were by the end of 2021.
Okay.
Not their potential of where they could be.
Okay.
And just that alone, it goes to Forza. Halo Infinite, as it stands, is an incomplete game. I love it to death. It's still fucking fun. I maxed out the battle pass. I make every weekly challenge, capstone, every weekly reward. I love it. The campaign's great. I beat it twice, and I'm still not done with it. I'm going to 100% it. It's incomplete.
Okay.
And it's way buggy. The netcode is bad.
And that's coming from this. He is the Halo guy of Primal Target, so I can't. If he's saying I'm not, because my vote obviously would go towards Forza Horizon only because I have played Forza Horizon. So I can't vote for a game I haven't played really that much. So the fact is, if you're gonna say Halo is not gonna move on, then Halo doesn't move on.
It doesn't deserve it.
Okay.
It doesn't deserve it.
Pokemon Unite versus Resident Evil Village.
Well, Resident Evil Village for sure. Pokemon Unite is awesome, but it doesn't put a candle to Resident Evil.
Yeah, I think it didn't reinvent
There's only so much you can do with the MOBA.
Yeah, because it's it's not like they didn't create the wheel. They just added some easier ways to make the wheel. It's so no reinventing anything, but some great ideas to adding to the idea of MOBAs and making that more accessible to people. I think they did a great job with it. So, but yeah, nothing that I don't think Resident
Great
Evil.
game, nothing but praise for it. It's not a Resident Evil killer.
No, but
not in this ladder.
It comes to Forza Horizon 5 versus Resident Evil Village.
See, this is tough.
Yes.
And I knew it was going to come down to these two.
Both beautiful games.
Well.
Beautiful games. I would give 10 out of 10s to both these games. Just because. So, what I'm going to do here for myself is I'm going to flat out say Resident Evil Village. I said as soon as I beat this game that it was game of the year for myself, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the fall, and nothing happened in the fall. My vote will be Resident Evil Village as game of the year. I don't know if Ashton is dealing with puppy dog things right now, but
no, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm just really hard thinking.
Okay.
Really hard thinking. Because they're way different games.
Way different, yeah.
And they offer so many different things. But they're both so good, top of the line.
Yeah.
Those are really the only two games that I can actually think of that were top of the line experiences of the year. Not riddled with bugs at launch. Full, complete game.
Yeah. I just look at Resident Evil as this franchise was literally, okay, we're gonna walk away from the fact that all these are gonna be puns, but it was a franchise that was dying, and it literally has been revived since Resident Evil 2 remake. Resident Evil 3 remake was a good addition. If you liked Nemesis and you liked all of Resident Evil 3, then Resident Evil 3. I still think Resident Evil 2 was better. Um, and then 7 was just it was a first person Resident Evil game. Like, we have not seen a mainline Resident Evil as a first person game. And then they took that even a step farther in this game, where it's like, okay, you know who Ethan is. We don't need to tell you about who Ethan. Now you want to know who Ethan is. Now you want to know more and more stuff about that. Like, Ethan has become one of the iconic Resident Evil characters, and we've never seen what this motherfucker looks like. So, like,
Nope, but we know what he's made of.
yes. So it's like, and the fact Chris is now back in it, we now know Chris is in the universe. The characters and the monsters you fight in this game, it's no longer about zombies. This game is no longer about that. But it continues the Outbreak and the Biohazard name. And
Yeah.
I never thought we would ever get a Biohazard game where it didn't really predominantly hit zombies, even though zombies are still a part of the game. But, like, we're dealing with fucking werewolves now. We're, like, all these... And you see that on the box cover, so that's not really a spoiler. But, like, it's... And vampires and all these other fucking monsters. And it's like, this world is crazy, and it's bigger now because now there's anything can fight you. So, I don't know. Forza Horizon 5 is a great racing game. Do not get me wrong. It is a beautiful addition to that franchise. But like I said, as soon as I beat that game, I was just like, nah, that's game of the year right there. And even when we played the demo thing that they released on PlayStation 5, which I can't remember. Yeah, what was that called? I can't remember what that was called. Maiden, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Resident Evil Maiden. I don't see it, but like it came back to my mind. And we played the demo, and we were like, "Wow, this game looks fucking beautiful." Like, so. But I don't know. Can you convince me that Forza Horizon is not? Like,
well, Forza Horizon.
Yeah.
For me, I don't really care for Forza. I played a bit of it on the Xbox 360. I think it was Forza Motorsport 3. I think is what I played.
Yeah. So you played the Sim.
I didn't. This is my first Horizon.
Again,
wow. I'm not like super big into racing games. Like, the most racing games I played is like Mario Kart. It's just I don't know. Driving is cool. GTA, I did the most driving probably in GTA 5. Like, but that's because the driving that is surprisingly good. Has no business being that good. But there's something about this game. Like, it made somebody who doesn't like racing games like a racing game.
Sure.
And that's a huge thing on its own. Also, no game to date can rival the visual prowess and performance of that game.
Yeah, I mean, Forza does a great job doing it.
That is the most photorealistic game outside of Flight Simulator. But that doesn't even have...
Well, it still keeps the cartoony sort of vibe a little bit. But yes, I do. I know what you're saying, though. Yes. It is very visually, like, to a T.
The level of detail in that game is incredible.
Yeah. It's just, as someone that played Forza Horizon 4, I was like, there is still stuff in Forza Horizon 4 that got brought into 5, where, like, the rain and the crumbling and, like, all of that mechanic stuff, that all was in in Forza Horizon 4, where it still looked great. This definitely does take it a step farther into bringing it into the 4K aspect, higher resolution, also HDR compatible, and it has the higher frame rate. Not to say that Forza Horizon 4 didn't have that, but 5 really does put the stamp of it is a next-gen game. And it definitely makes its home to the series consoles. But to me, I don't see that big of a leap for the Forza Horizon series because it left me going, okay, you gave me a little more story stuff, but I wish you had gave me more story stuff. Like I feel like that's still not to the. I think Forza Horizon 6, if they were to make an actual like story where you're doing stuff and not just racing and not just driving from point A to point B, it really will make this game absolutely to the next level of where it could go. I think they got the visuals down. But for Forza Horizon 4 to Forza Horizon 5, both really beautiful games. I just didn't see enough to put it to the next level. Whereas when I look at Resident Evil, they just keep doing it. They're just
Fair point.
they're expanding on the character and they're giving me something brand new. They gave me something brand new when that one thing happens with Chris. And so like I was like, I never have done this in a Resident Evil game, and it's fucking crazy that I'm doing it in a Resident Evil game because it played not like one, but it still felt like one. And
Yeah.
I just I can't, I have no idea what they're gonna do with it next. Whereas Forza Horizon 6 more than likely will probably be the same thing. With
I will say
go ahead.
that I'm gonna have to agree with you on the choice for Resident Evil, and I think part of it, what's missing for me, is the is really the diversity of locations
Okay.
for
Mm-hmm.
Forza, because it's all like pretty much the same, honestly, when you're driving around.
Yeah, and that is Forza Horizon. That I mean, but I will. It's also way bigger. So that is their upgrade to this one. This is bigger than what it was in the UK. UK map was bigger than it was in Australia, which is funny to even say. But like, and then even in Forza Horizon 3, Australia was bigger than Forza Horizon 2. So like, they keep doing that, and that's fine. But like comparing. I mean, obviously, we're trying to compare apples to oranges here. We're literally trying to figure out is one better than the other, and you're like, well, I like both of them. Can I not have both of them? And
Well, we
unfortunately,
also
we
have
can't.
to take into account there are extra modes as well in Resident Evil, just like there is make your own kind of game modes in Forza.
Yeah. So as hard as it is, I was hard. It was hard to see Pokemon Unite get knocked out. So, but I mean, are we doing it? Are we officially doing it?
Resident Evil 8.
All right. As of right now, the runner-up Forza Horizon 5, but the official Primal Target 2021 Game of the Year is Resident Evil Village, and that is going to be it. Resident 2022. I don't know how I got that name. I think I looked at Resident Evil and I looked away for a second. 2022 is going to be insane. There's just crazy amount of good games coming out this year. Pray to God they are. And it's going to be even harder this year than it was last year to vote for which one it is. So stay tuned. If you like this type of content, please hit subscribe. We got podcasts coming out all the time. We got videos coming out all the time. We stream where, Ashton?
Twitch.tv/primal_target. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yes. See. And you can watch it right there for free. It's free. You don't even got to do anything. But if you want to kick back a couple dollars, we really appreciate that. Because all that money from Twitch goes right back into Primal Target and making it even a better thing for you guys. So,
100% of it.
yeah, but that is going to be it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for sticking by. I know this episode goes always too long, but I actually think we did a pretty good job. 2 hours was not too bad. So, Ashton, any final words?
No, I'm excited for gaming this year. This is going to be a big year for gaming, so let's see what happens.
All right. Until next time, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Good night, everybody.
I have the sweatiest balls right now. Oh my god, dude. There's like a puddle on my chair.
For the $70 price tag.
that's okay because Warzone, you don't have to get Call of Duty for. Warzone's a separate thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's free. They can get away with that. I don't like free-to-play games because they're like that. I would rather pay $60 or $70 to get a game where I can actually play it in all of its entirety and get all the rewards from it.